Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Mr. Atcher316. I am back on YouTube. Now this is gonna be a special video for you guys. I'm not gonna make a DVD review for now because I feel like I want to do something that I've always wanted to do in a while. I believe the last time I did this was last year, maybe a little later. But it's gonna be my top 10 favorite WWE DVDs in my collection. Now it excludes pay-per-views, as you can see. It excludes all these pay-per-views. It's just going to be WWE documentaries that WWE has produced. So you won't be seeing any wrestling documentaries. You won't be seeing any TNA documentaries or or any WWF related documentaries. It's strictly WWE from the years 2002 all the way till right now. All right. So it's my top 10 favorite. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get to it. Number 10 is Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak and Triumph. As you know, I have this in the book version, which is right over here. The same thing. You can tell by the title. It's the same thing. Side views. Anyways, this DVD, I believe, was the first 3-disc set that Shawn Michaels ever came out with. Very, very good. I remember watching it for the first time. Just kept me on the couch, and I like it. I mean, it has a documentary on the first disc, and then it has matches from his illustrious career on the second and third disc, including his match with the British Bulldog for the IC title, the Royal Rumble match of 1995, his match with Jeff Jarrett, his match with Triple H on Raw, again his match with the British Bulldog for the WWE title, his match with Kurt Angle at Vengeance, and his match with John Cena on Raw. Now, these matches were not like really popular, or like they weren't really like the kind of matches you would see on every other DVD. Like, for example, the Shawn vs. Razor Ramon ladder match, you would find it on the ladder match DVD. You would find it in other Shawn Michaels documentaries, or you'll even find a Razor Ramon documentaries if they have any. But like in this specific DVD set, they have matches that are not shown in any other DVDs. So like for example, Shawn Michaels vs. John Cena on Raw, an epic hour main event between these two. They stole the show. They tear the roof off the building. It was an amazing match, and you know, in my opinion, it was better than the WrestleMania 23 match they made, because like it was just really interesting to see another match that took about an hour. I mean, Shawn Michaels can do that. That's just an amazing talent right there. He can make an hour match interesting. So yeah, Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak and Triumph, very interesting, on my number 10. Alright, going on to number 9. This is my favorite match of all time. It is a ladder match. 3-disc set as well. Let me show you guys. Now, I didn't specifically pick this over ladder match 2 because of Chris Benoit being in it. To be honest, I'm not biased like that about Chris Benoit, since I'm a huge fan of his. Or was a huge fan of his, and so I'm not biased about that. But the only reason why I picked this over ladder match 2, because I was struggling between which one I should put on the list, is because, well, let's face it, this had a lot better matches, and you know, I believe there was even like after every other match they would have like a little documentary or a little interview going on, rather than like the second the sequel, or if you should say, to the ladder match DVD. They had, you know, match after match after match, and you didn't really have any interviews going on, this and that. I mean, in my opinion, this one was far more superior than ladder match 2, and I just had to pick one to put on the list. So ladder match 2. Oh, and by the way, whichever DVDs I'm picking out in front of you guys, those are the DVDs that you have, like, if you're a die-hard wrestling fan and you collect DVDs and you don't have any of these DVDs, go to Walmart, go to FYE, Best Buy, Amazon.com, whichever store you want to go to. get the DVDs, because I'm telling you, they're just a perfect asset to your collection. Going on to number 8 is Greatest Stars of the 90s. Now, there's a reason why I picked this DVD. For one, I didn't start watching wrestling until the early 2000s, but the thing is, it was the 90s that made wrestling the way it is today. I mean, without the 90s, and like if you just had the 80s and then you just skip to the 2000s, I guarantee you WWE would never have survived, because, I mean, I'm not going to say WWE was boring in the 80s. It's just that WWE did not break every rule in the book. It was just like this goody-goody company that just went in a straight line. However, this DVD shows how wrestling got its downs, but then got its ups like that. I mean, look at the stars that's in it. Shawn Michaels, Yokozuna, The Rock, Kevin Nash, Owen Hart, Ric Flair, Mick Foley, Hulk Hogan, Triple H, Mr. McMahon, Eric Bischoff, Bret the Hitman Hart, Lex Luger, Sting, Razor Ramon, The Undertaker, and none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin. That, my friend, is an amazing list of superstars that were active at the time of the 90s. I mean, just look at the pictures. They just look, words cannot describe the feeling I get whenever I think about the 90s. I mean, those were the golden times, golden era, the 90s. So, very good DVD. It summarizes most of the events that occurred in the 90s. If you're a WWF fan, or if you're a Monday Night Wars fan specifically, then I highly recommend you guys get this. It kind of reveals some, what should I say? It kind of reveals some interesting topics about the Monday Night Wars. It pretty much shows a little about the Monday Night Wars, because after all, the Monday Night Wars was during the late 90s, so definitely. Going on to number 7, Ric Flair, The Ultimate Collection. Again, I had to choose either this one or the Definitive Collection. I decided to choose this one because, simple as that, I was more interested in watching this DVD than the Definitive Collection, and truth be told, I had the Definitive Collection before I was given this one, so even though this one came out first. And I had to say, this DVD looked a lot better. I mean, just the artwork and the setup of the DVD and this and that. Amazing. I mean, words cannot describe it. Amazing. I mean, a good documentary as well. Great matches listed. His feuds with guys like Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, Barry Windham, Sting, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. His feuds of the NWA, the WCW, a lot of those are showcased in this DVD, and that's what most DVDs are missing. I mean, some DVDs today, some of the great DVDs today, they show a lot of stuff from other wrestling organizations that were popular back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and that's what makes the WWE DVD so significant. This WWE DVD right here was very significant because of that. It also has some of his WWF matches. Let me just try to see which ones they had. The 1992 Royal Rumble, they talk about that, where he won the Royal Rumble and becomes the WWF champion. Let's see. It's a little bit unorganized in my opinion. If you look at the slip, I mean, there's matches everywhere. There's a documentary everywhere and this and that. But I would have to say this DVD was very significant. Although the only one aspect of the Definitive Collection that is better than this DVD is that, in the Definitive Collection, they include the retirement match of Ric Flair's career. It was him and Shawn Michaels in an epic match at WrestleMania 24, and that was a perfect conclusion for his career. I think that was the only thing missing from this DVD. Other than that, this DVD was an A+. Alright, going on to number 6, we got the Best of Raw, the Best of Raw 15th anniversary. You guys hear me talk about this all the time simply because this is one of my favorite DVDs of all time. It's on my number 6 list. I mean, come on. It comes with three DVDs, three different eras of the Monday Night Raw. You got the early '90s era, you got the mid '90s era where it was transcending to the Attitude Era, and then you just got the early 2000s to the mid 2000s to the late 2000s, where Raw shifted to another gear. It's just an amazing DVD that showcases all the memorable moments in Raw history. I mean, think about the moments that Mick Foley, Stone Cold, Vince McMahon, The Rock, Undertaker, John Cena, Kurt Angle, The Rock, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, all these guys, and all the memorable moments. Just think about all those moments in one DVD set. That's just basically all I have to say about this illustrious DVD. This DVD was amazing. I remember getting it for the first time. I was getting goosebumps since I got it, and since I put it on TV, and since I watched it, and until I finished the whole thing, I was smiling the whole time because I literally re-witnessed my childhood. So definitely get this DVD. It's number 6 on my list. Going on to my top 5. Alright, number 5, The Rise and Fall of WCW. A very good DVD right here, basically reviewing the run of WCW since its beginning to the end. Very, very interesting DVD. Very controversial as well, in my opinion. It basically reveals everything. It reveals all the successes of WCW, then the mistakes. You know, the failures that Eric Bischoff had to deal with when facing Mr. McMahon. I mean, he dominated Vince McMahon. He beat Vince McMahon on numerous occasions, and all of a sudden, WCW just dropped, and it was just really, really scary. I mean, you know, WCW was reigning supreme for weeks after weeks after weeks, and all of a sudden they just disappear. They don't disappear. They get a debacle, and then they just go down. But the reason why I picked this DVD is because it had some of the greatest stars. You know, guys like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, Booker T, Rey Mysterio, all the cruiserweights, and then you guys like the NWO, including Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Hulk Hogan, Scott Steiner, Macho Man Randy Savage, Bret the Hitman Hart, Lex Luger, Sting, Goldberg, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair. I mean, you got all these wrestlers, all these iconic figures, and like WCW was an amazing company, without a doubt. WCW was it's like 10 times better than TNA because they both are related, because they both have the same people, nearly the same people, except WCW was way better because I mean, even though it's run by the same people, I think WCW had the perfect timing. I mean, they were having a rivalry with the WWF, which was a perfect timing because both had to push themselves, and both competed against each other, which brought up the best of the WCW and it brought up the best of the WWF. So that's why you see a great WCW, because of the WWF. And the reason why you see a great WWF is because of WCW. So that's basically it. And this DVD has a lot of it in this 3-disc set. Alright, going on to number 4. He's my favorite wrestler today, and he should be yours as well. Chris Jericho. Breaking the Code, Walls, Chris Jericho. I mean, what an amazing DVD. First, this is the second Chris Jericho DVD. First one was a VHS tape back in 2000, I think, or 2001. But I didn't get that yet. I'm actually not gonna get it either because I feel like it's gonna be a waste of money anyways. But this DVD was not a waste of money. This DVD was worth every dollar I spent on it. It was $35, but it was worth it because it had an amazing story to it. I mean, Chris Jericho is the most inspirational star in the history, in my opinion. He inspires me to watch wrestling day by day because of his amazing stories. I mean, oh shit, my bad. Of his amazing stories. I mean, disc 1, his biography, and then like disc 2 and 3, his iconic matches, including with him and, you know, in his ECW battle with Cactus Jack. You know, amazing matches. His matches with Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, John Cena especially, and Hulk Hogan. I mean, this guy right here had a lot of great matches. You gotta get this DVD. He had some of the best matches in the history. I mean, what an iconic figure. I mean, few years from now, he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame easy. I mean, this guy is just an amazing character, amazing wrestler, and he's like a role model to me. I mean, it's because of him that I'm watching wrestling today. Otherwise, if Chris Jericho wasn't here, I probably wouldn't be watching wrestling as often as I used to. And you know, even reading his book inspired me, because when I read his book, it was like as if he was sitting in front of me and he was telling me the story, because it was like I was watching TV, watching his biography, or he was just sitting right in front of me just talking to me about what happened, and it was just so bone-chilling, and it was just thrilling to read. And now this DVD as well, thrilling to watch. Chris Jericho is amazing. Words cannot describe how great this DVD is and how great he is. Get this DVD if you don't have it. I highly recommend it. So yeah, that took a little while. Next, okay, now this is my top 3, guys. Now I just want to let you guys remember to know that this is my top 3. You guys might have a different opinion. If you guys have the same opinion, let me know. Comment below. And now these top 3 DVDs are on my top 3 list because they were just amazing. They were downright the best WWE documentaries they ever came up with, in my opinion. I mean, I'm also going to say that I was a little bit biased about the top 3 choices, and you'll find out why. But let's get to it. Number 3 is a 2-disc set, and it is The Rise and Fall of ECW. What can I say about this DVD? This DVD takes your breath away from the first disc all the way to the second. I mean, yeah, you can tell it's 2-disc set, and it comes with an insert, by the way. I'm not going to give a full review on this. I think I already have, but what I have to say was this DVD is amazing from the beginning to the end. All of it is true. It's just amazing. Shocking to hear. I mean, ECW, if it was as well produced or well shown on TV as WWF was, or WCW, I guarantee you that ECW probably still would have existed today, because ECW was just an innovative and creative. I mean, it had an innovative and a creative role in professional wrestling. You had WCW and WWF going old school, but then when ECW came into the picture, it came hardcore. It came, you know, the F-bombs to your face and all that stuff, and it was just amazing. And that's what inspired WCW to create the NWO. That's what inspired WWF to make the Attitude Era, to have Stone Cold Steve Austin. And, you know, without ECW, you wouldn't have enjoyed all the great times in the 90s and early 2000s, because, you know, let's face it, if we didn't have ECW, Vince McMahon and Ted Turner or Eric Bischoff would never have thought of the idea of Attitude or NWO for life or anything like that, or even D-Generation X, Suck It. So yeah, ECW, one of the most memorable moments in this DVD. Gotta see it. Highly recommend it. It's on my number 3. Now, top 2, guys. Number 2. This DVD recently came out back in 2000 and trying not to show you guys right now. 2011. Simply an amazing DVD because it was just well put. Simple as that. Well put. Greatest rivalries, or WWE's greatest rivalries. Shawn versus Bret, the Hitman Hart. What an amazing DVD. I gotta say, this DVD inspired me to, like, watch other documentaries based on Bret the Hitman Hart's life and his career, and etc., etc. But, you know, what can I say? That literally, I'm beginning to be speechless. I mean, it's just crazy. This DVD right here it's just awe-inspiring. I just cannot describe to you guys how great this DVD is. But to be quite honest, I don't know what to say. Literally, I have no idea what to say. And I'm not going to waste your time by saying that I'm speechless. I just have to say that this DVD is amazing. It showcases all the moments of both of their careers, their friendship to their hatred, relationship to the reunion of these two mega superstars. Get this DVD if you're a Bret Hart fan, Shawn Michaels fan, or even a wrestling fan. Just get it. Just get it, for God's sake. If you want to prove to me that you're a real wrestling fan, get this fucking DVD. Simple as that. All right. Now, going on to my number 1. Now, even though this is my top 10 list, I decided to put 2 DVDs as my number 1 spot because I just couldn't decide which one was my all-time favorite. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if it was this one or if it was that one. Literally, I was scratching my head for a good 10 minutes, and I was thinking to myself, you know, this one is better than this one in some ways, but this one is better than this one in other ways. I just don't know how to sort it. I just know how to sort it. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I'm going hyper, and I'm talking too much right now. And now I still have to decide for the video which one's number 1. So which one did I decide to be number 1? To make life easier, I decided to put both of them number 1. Now, you can call me whatever you want, but that's just the way I want to do it. And now, number 1, I'm going to show you one by one, or both at the same time. Bam. Yep, take a good look at it. These 2 DVDs right here are my number 1 favorite. Stone Cold, the bottom line on the most popular superstar of all time. Bret the Hitman Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Whoa. Amazing. These 2 documentaries / DVDs are amazing. Stone Cold's whole career is over here. His iconic WWE, ECW, WCW career is on the palm of my hand. That's what I have to say about this DVD. It's for the set. This, on the other hand, is the best DVD there is, the best DVD there ever was, and the best DVD there ever will be. These 2 DVDs combined together is just perfection. Now, that's all I'm going to say about these 2 DVDs. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. And remember, if you guys are missing any of these 2 DVDs, you should definitely go to the store right now and get them. You know, or any of these DVDs. If you don't have any of those DVDs, I highly recommend you guys to get them. This is my own opinion, so it's not a fact. Now, there were other DVDs that I could have included, like any Hulk Hogan DVDs, Macho Man DVDs, Roddy Piper DVDs, Eddie Guerrero DVDs. I mean, there's so many DVDs I could have added to my list, but the thing was, these DVDs were very special to me, and they will always be special. I mean, they're just amazing. But right now I'm running out of breath. That's basically it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe to my channel. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to make this top 10 WWE DVDs in my collection, or you can call it top 11, but no, there's 2 number 1s. But you know, still, it's just really crazy. And you might have noticed that I kept changing my taste in my DVDs. You know, I would have this one as number 1, then I have this one as number 1. See, the thing is, the beauty about wrestling is that there are other stuff that comes at you, and then you just change your mind. You know, wrestling, when you come to wrestling, you don't just stick to one opinion and stick to it the whole entire time. It's like saying, you know, you're a huge fan of Chris Jericho, then all of a sudden you hated him. I mean, then all of a sudden, no. It's like you liked Chris Jericho so much since his very ups and downs, and like since his very first WCW career and this and that. I mean, maybe it has happened, but the thing is, people change their opinions. Like, for example, I used to hate CM Punk. Yes, I know, I used to hate CM Punk. Now I like him. You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin. When I was a kid, I loved him, but then when he turned heel, I hated him. Then he turned face again, and I liked him. I mean, that's just the way a wrestling fan works. And you know, wrestling is a magical thing. It magically changes your opinions. So, you see these top 10 lists. Maybe in another year or so, you would see a different top 10 list. But for now, those are what I call my top 10 favorite DVDs of all time. And I hope you guys, or in the WWE. And I hope you guys enjoy. Peace out.